Imagine being able to use ChatGPT directly within your code editor. That's right, you can now use ChatGPT in VS Code. As you may know, ChatGPT is a powerful language model developed by OpenAI, and it has been trained on a massive amount of data to be able to generate human-like text. In the past, many of us have resorted to copying and pasting code from our text editors into ChatGPT and then pasting the generated solutions back into the editor. However, this process can be quite inefficient, especially when dealing with large amounts of code. Fortunately, in this video, I'm going to show you a much more streamlined approach that will allow you to use the power of ChatGPT directly within your code editor. The first step is to install the extension called ChatGPT Genie AI. To do this, open VS Code and click on the Extensions tab on the left sidebar. Search for ChatGPT Genie in the search bar and click on the Install button to install the extension. Once the extension is installed, you will need to set up an OpenAI API key. You can sign up for a free API key on the OpenAI website. Once you have your API key, go to the VS Code settings and search for ChatGPT. Under the ChatGPT settings, paste your API key into the API key field. Now that the ChatGPT extension is installed and set up, let's see how it works. To demonstrate how the extension works, I have prepared a Python file that includes a binary search program. Once you have the ChatGPT extension installed and set up, you can select any code segment that you are interested in and right click on it. This will bring up a variety of options that you can choose from. For example, you can ask ChatGPT to add test cases for the selected code, find any potential bugs, optimize the code, or even explain how the code works. In addition, you can use ChatGPT to add comments to your code, which can be incredibly helpful for documentation purposes. Overall, the capabilities of this extension are truly amazing and can make your life as a developer so much easier. So let's dive in and see how these features actually perform. We'll start by asking it to explain the code in our selected function. As you can see, ChatGPT has begun to read and explain what the function does, and it's doing an excellent job. Next, let's try adding some comments to the function using ChatGPT. It has started to write comments about what each line does, which is incredibly impressive. Let me copy the updated code and replace it. Oops, I copied the whole explanation. We have to copy using this button to copy just the code part. As you can see, ChatGPT extension has done a fantastic job of adding useful comments to our function. Another exciting feature of the ChatGPT extension is its ability to optimize code. However, in this case, there isn't much to optimize, so ChatGPT simply notes that fact. Let's try one more thing. What if we remove half of the function and see if ChatGPT can complete it? I'll remove a portion of the function and then click complete. Amazingly, ChatGPT has started to complete this partial function, and if I copy and replace it, we can see that it has included all the necessary conditions. Finally, let's try the last feature that we will be looking at in this tutorial, which is to add test cases. I'll select the function again and ask ChatGPT to add some test cases to it. It has begun to write some code to test the function. Let it finish. Okay, so now if I add it to our code and run it, it gives me an error on the first test, which means that these test cases can be very useful for finding corner cases that we may have overlooked. In this case, the function fails for empty list, so we'll need to handle that case. If I remove this test and then run it, it works fine. So that was the only case for which our program was failing. If you found this tutorial helpful, please consider subscribing to this channel for more useful content.